Hi everyone, welcome to Teach It Tuesday. My name is Crystal and I'm going to show you some basics on wood burning. If you've been following me on my Facebook page, you know that I restored a spinning wheel recently and I wood burned like the whole thing. So I'm going to show you how to wood burn. Now I'm no pro at wood burning, but I'm going to show you the basics just so you can fancy up a few things. If you want to do like the back of your hand carders, or if you have a picker box you want to make fancy, add your personal touch to, or even your own spinning wheel. It's super fun and just a great little way to be creative and try a new craft. So I put together a little compilation of the spinning wheel process that I did. So I hope you enjoy that. And then after that, I will show you the demonstration on how to wood burn. Get ready on the demonstration part. I'm going to go over the tools that you need first. You're going to need a piece of wood. And for this demonstration, I'm actually going to use the stool. And I'm going to do the top of it here. I picked this up at a thrift store for $6. So it's my craft room stool. And I always like to make things look a little fancy and fun and whatever. So I'm going to wood burn right on the top of this, like the seat part. You also need an image of what you want to wood burn, or if you're super good at drawing and freehanding things, you could just draw with pencil the image right onto your piece of wood. I'm not that good at drawing, so I just actually got this image out of an adult coloring book. So you could get an adult coloring book, you could just search Google Images and print something off the computer. There's a lot of different ways to get cool images for wood burning ideas. For my spinning wheel, I searched a lot of things like henna tattoo patterns or mandala patterns, things like that. You get some really cool images. The next thing you will need is, so there's whatever image you want to use. Then you're going to need carbon paper. If you are not freehanding it, you'll need carbon paper to transfer the image from your paper onto your wood, and I'll show you how to do that. You'll also need a pen or a really sharp pencil. Well, it doesn't have to be super sharp, but you're gonna put some pressure down on it. So I really like to use a pen better. And I like to try to use a pen opposite color of my lines on my picture, which is black, and of course all that I could find was black pens. I like to use red usually, or something like that, but black is what I had, so that's what I'm going to use. And then tape. This is optional. I like to use a tape, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then also the wood burner itself, the actual little tool. So the wood burner tool it comes in a kit. It comes with the wood burner tool. It comes with a set of, I want to say, 4 or 5 interchangeable tips. These just screw in. Now this is not plugged in, so be very, very careful because it gets super hot as soon as you plug it in. There's no like on or off switch, so when you plug it in, it starts warming up right away. You do not want to touch anywhere that is metal on this thing because it gets screaming hot. But these tips, they just screw in and out, and you can switch them out. I couldn't find my extra tips for this video, of course. I don't know where they're at. I've been remodeling my craft room, which I'm in right now. We put in new flooring, tore out the old carpet. Anyhow, I couldn't find my set of tips for this. So I just have the basic kind of all around, it's rounded, but a little bit of a point at the end. So you could do writing, you could do shading. It's kind of a good universal all around tip. So this is the one I like to use anyways. I use this one on my spinning wheel the majority of the time. So I'm glad that this one was in there, and you know, I couldn't find the other ones, that's all right. And then it comes with this handy little stand like this. So you don't have to put it directly on your surface, the hot part, you just set it into the little stand here, like so. Okay. Now be careful though, because the cord is like heavier than the tool itself. So the cord does have a tendency of like going like this and pulling it off the edge of your table. So be very careful. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And like I said, it starts heating up pretty quickly. So I'll plug this in and then we can talk different kinds of wood while this heats up. And we can start transferring our design too. I'm going to set this over on the table, but again, I'm going to keep an eye on it because the cord likes to kind of pull it off. So there's different kinds of wood. There's hardwoods and softwoods. This wood here of the chair is a hardwood. You can tell it's really dense. Most things that furniture is made out of is hardwood. There are softer woods. Like this is just a kind of a craft piece of wood. I think it's called balsam. Not really sure, but it's super, it kind of feels soft even, and if you like push really hard with your fingernail, you can leave a indentation there where your fingernail was. That's a super soft wood. The hardwood, I cannot put my fingernail in it at all. It's not going to make a dent at all. But just know that if you're using a softer wood, it's going to wood burn super fast and really dark. If you want to wood burn a harder wood, it's going to wood burn slower, so you have more control over light and dark areas. If you wood burn the softwood, it burns super fast, so it's a lot harder to control light and dark areas. You pretty much just get dark because it goes boom, like burns it instant. And I'll show you the difference in the woods too once my little tool heats up. And really, it does not take long to heat up at all. It's probably heated up already. But I want to get some of this transferred on here. So what you do, there's two sides to this carbon paper, and you can find this at like, when I get like Hobby Lobby or any kind of craft store. It's over by the like drawing and sketching stuff. So there's two sides, there's like a shiny side and then there's a matte side. You want the shiny side to be touching your wood. So face down on the wood is the shiny side. And then your picture, you want to be face up. So you can see the lines that you're outlining, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to kind of line this up where I want it on my stool. And you see it doesn't fit the whole stool. So I'm going to have to do a spot, kind of move it around, line it up again, do another spot. And that's a little bit tricky work if you're doing a bigger piece and you have a smaller picture. So you could always just pick out like one element of this smaller picture to do. Like if you just like, say, this smaller flower with just the little polka dots here, you could do just the inside flower and not worry about all this other crazy busyness on the outside. So you kind of have to, think about your design and think about what you want to do overall. For this purposes, I am going to do just one of these flowers just to show you. Okay, and I am going to tape it down. I'm going to see how I'm folding it over the edges, and I'm going to tape it on the underneath side. And that's just so when I'm transferring it onto the wood, it's not sliding all over the place, and then I got to try to figure out lining it up and all that kind of stuff, because that is kind of a pain once you get it moved and you're like in the middle of tracing, and then it's like, oh no, offline and not fun to try to line back up. Okay, once you have your picture where you want it, you can start tracing the image onto the wood. So to do that, you simply just trace over the lines that are there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I bring it up to the middle. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to focus on this one flower for now. And you just pick a spot to start and you trace it. And you want to push down with a little bit of pressure. You don't want to push down so hard that you're like ripping through the paper, but you do want to push down kind of hard because you want to make sure it is transferring the image over onto the wood. And you can use this carbon paper more than one time, so it's not like just one time use and then, you know, it's garbage or whatever. You can use it more than once. And they have different packs too. You know, they have like packs of 3 sheets, packs of 5 sheets, 1 sheet, that kind of thing. And don't fret if you go outside of the line a little bit, because I do. It's okay because you can fix it when you're actually doing the wood burning. And that's the fun of wood burning. I mean, it's handmade, just like anything, so it doesn't have to be like uber perfect. It just looks cool. Alright, so I finished tracing the flower. It's kind of right here. It's really hard to see it because the carbon paper traces really lightly. It's like a really super light pencil. You can see it kind of dark in this spot because there was a stain in the wood. So it's showing up really good there. Now I should mention, when you're staining or wood burning, you want to make sure the wood is like raw, sanded, natural. This had a clear like poly finish on it, and I took the sander to it to knock that shine off and kind of take it back to some natural wood. I'm kind of leery about wood burning over top of a stain or a poly, just because those things are flammable and you're using, like, you know, hot wood burning tool. I don't want to catch my house on fire. So let's begin to wood burn, and you'll see how quickly or not quickly it starts to burn. You do want to make sure you have the tool nice and hot. If it's not very hot, it's not going to really wood burn at all. You can see already, wow, that's very nice, huh? You will get a little bit of smoke and some burning smell because you are burning the wood. You know, just like if you have like a fireplace, you're actually burning the wood. So you do have some smoke and smell. You do not want to sit there and hold it down really for a long time, because it will put a big hole in like charcoal it and could possibly catch on fire. Don't want your smoke alarms going off in your house. I do this in the house, you know. I think it's safe enough that you don't have to freak out about, like, you know, doing it indoors. I think it's fine. But, you know, if you're worried about it, you could take it to the garage or someplace like that if you're warm. It's only 11 degrees out today in Michigan where I'm at, so I don't want to be doing it in my garage because that's chilly. So I am really just tracing the lines at this point of what I just put on there. Super easy. How cute is that already? And as you're doing it, you can kind of decide, you know, do I want to color this element in to make it solid? Do I want to leave it empty? You know, and make it lighter or not solid. See, and if I go too fast, it's really light because it doesn't give time for it to burn the wood. It doesn't sit on the wood very long. So it's lighter. If you move fast, it's lighter. If you want it darker, you have to sit on the spot a little bit longer and pull it along slower, like this. It gives you a darker line, because it actually burns the wood faster. Or not faster, but longer if you go slow. So it creates a darker line. Like that. So it's really fun. You can, you know, kind of play around with it, your design elements. And just because, like, you know, your pattern showed all solid or all empty lines like this of the flower, I can go in and make this one striped. So it makes like a kind of a variegated leaf to the flower, or a variegated petal, depending on if that's a leaf or a petal. You know, you can just do that. Just kind of do different things. It's really fun. If you go fast again, like you see, it gets darker or lighter. These are a bunch of little circles. You can fill them in and make them solid or not. Some are bigger, some are smaller. It just makes it really cute to have variation. Alright, so I have completed this flower. Once it is done, I just kind of let it cool. It feels, I mean, it cools pretty quick anyways, but I wouldn't polyurethane it or stain it right away, you know, until it's completely cool. You could feel a little bit of roughness. I wouldn't worry about that, because if you put a couple layers of polyurethane, it smooths it out, because the polyurethane will go down into the grooves and it'll bring it up to the same level, so it'll smooth it out for you. But after I would burn it, I like to put a wood conditioner on it. Put a layer, brush on a wood conditioner, and then after that dries, then you can stain it any color you want. I just wouldn't go with anything too super dark, because then you're just really going to cover it up. I used, I think, like the lightest, oh, I forget what I used for my stain. I don't know, like one of the lightest stains I could find. It still had a little bit of a tint to it, but it wasn't just natural, because I had some other imperfections on the wood itself I wanted to kind of cover with the stain, because there was some water damage and other kind of things that I couldn't sand out. You know, I didn't want to take too much of the wood off by sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding to get rid of the water damage. So I chose a stain that had a little bit of a tint to it. But, you know, you can wood condition it, do a light stain. And my stain was a stain / poly blend, so it had polyurethane right in it. So I just did like 2 layers of that, and it was enough to cover it and protect it. If you want to do just polyurethane, you don't want to do a stain, you certainly could do that. You would have a really pretty natural wood, and then your wood burning would really pop out and be really awesome. You just put a thin couple layers, couple coats of polyurethane, and it'd be really cool. So I look forward to seeing your guys' wood burning projects. I want to just show you really quick. This is a soft wood. This was a hard wood, and this actually took the burn pretty good, pretty quickly. But I'm just like gonna barely touch this, and you'll see like it's smoked right here. Like it just gets dark really fast with the softer wood, and it's pretty smoky. But so you can see different types of woods will take the wood burning differently. But anyways, well, I look forward to seeing you guys' wood burning. See, and there you go, just like that. I pulled it off my table. You have to be very careful with this tool. I'm going to unplug it right now. But thank you guys for watching. I look forward to seeing your wood burning projects. Post them in the comments below. Have a good day, guys. Bye.